Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the round of 32 match between Sabalenka and Robin Montgomery, who is a 19-year-old young American player. Sabalenka with a 7-match win streak at Madrid. She's the defending champ. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Join in. Sabalenka to serve first. The big serve. That's it. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, all that stuff. But yeah, this is what we're doing. This is the round 32. This is the first time that Montgomery has been able to win back-to-back matches at tour level. She was very good in juniors. She won the junior U.S. Open. And she was very, very good in juniors for a while, but now she's moved up to the pro circuit. She's got a few wild cards into different events. In 2021, she made her WTA 1000 debut at the Miami Open as a wild card player. But this is her by far her best tournament so far. Sabalenka with an ace out wide to start off proceedings. Excited to watch this one. In the first round, she beat young Russian player Vanyasyan. 6-2, 6-2, and then she beat Katie Bolter. She lost the first set 6-1, then won the second and third set. So good run from her, and we'll see how she can do against Sabalenka, who seems to really like the faster conditions here on the clay, and also the higher bounce right into the sweet spot. Does really well for her game. Let's see how she does. Attacking shots early, but that backhand goes wide, so we're at 15 all. We're at 15 all. Get the scoreboard as well. Here we go. Cool. Yeah, let me know predictions in the chat. I've got Sabalenka in straight sets. Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to have you in here. What's up? What's up? Sabalenka at the serve out wide. Backhand of Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka waits a while, hits it down the line for a winner. So we're 30-15. We're at 30-15. This is a match Sabalenka should win. This is a match Sabalenka should win. Anything other than straightforward would be a shock with the player on the other side, but you never know for sure. Sabalenka won 3 sets against Magda Linette in her first match. It wasn't the first round, but in her first match in round 64. And Montgomery, Sabalenka, who knows if she's even seen Montgomery play before, let alone she hasn't played her. So that'll be interesting. Could be interesting. Forehand Sabalenka, the backhand of Montgomery. That is called out from Montgomery on the baseline. So 40-15 for Sabalenka. Oh, it's called out, but it's good. Good challenge there from Montgomery. Good challenge from Montgomery. It's actually on the line, so we're back at 30-15. But yeah, I'll say Sabalenka in straight sets, but I'll say 6-3, 7-5 Sabalenka. That'll be my prediction. I have no idea. I haven't watched Montgomery play a match before. I actually watched her, I believe, juniors, just randomly one year. I think I watched her in juniors. Maybe at the Australian Open or something, because that's usually when I follow juniors more closely. But I think I'd watched her play a juniors match once, but it's a bit of a while ago. I think it was last year. But I've never really watched her play, so I want to do that as well. She's 183 in the world in singles, but I'm sure that changes with her run this week a little bit. With the 2 matches that she's won, I'd say maybe she moves up to like 140 in the world, 130 in the world. 140. I'll check that now, though. Okay, not quite that high, but 156 in the world with this, with her performance so far. If she's able to win this match, then she would have even a much bigger climb, having reached the final 16. She would be up to 139 in the world, should she win this match, which seems a bit unlikely. Sabalenka, though, with the forehand in the net, so we're at deuce early here. Watch Montgomery in the first set against your girlfriend. Against Bolter. Nice. Yeah, well, in the first set, Bolter sweeped her. But, yeah, second and third set, Montgomery got the win. Yeah, I guess Bolter on clay, I don't know if she would be as confident, but let's see. She's been doing well, though, Bolter. So, Bolter and de Minaur have been having good success. Listen, kind of kidding around, but that's the thing about a solid relationship like that, especially with 2 players. That can be good for both. Or it can be negative, or it can be not mean much of anything. But, yeah, no, I think it worked out well for Bolter and for de Minaur. They seem to be well off. That backhand goes wide with an early break point for Montgomery. We're at deuce. But Sabalenka, she's not really been as consistent recently. She lost to Vondrousova in the last event that she played. Very close match. Serve the backhand of Montgomery, backhand Sabalenka. Forehand of Montgomery, forehand to Sabalenka. Forehand of Montgomery, backhand again Sabalenka. Forehand to Montgomery, backhand Sabalenka. Backhand of Montgomery, forehand Sabalenka. To the backhand of Montgomery, playing on the baseline. Montgomery just being consistent, and listen, she's not really scared of Sabalenka's pace in this first game. She's hitting solid shots, solid depth, good forehands, good backhands, very consistent. So it's working off well. If she just kind of waits for the Sabalenka error, I mean, that's a way to play too. We'll see if that's what she can do. But yeah, in Stuttgart, she lost to Vondrousova, Sabalenka. First round, she beat Badoza, but she had to retire at 3-3 in the first set. Miami, Sabalenka lost to Kalinina, really was not playing her best. Also beat Badoza there in a completed match. But yeah, I mean, Sabalenka's had some really kind of tragic stuff happen, some stuff going on in her personal life. So who knows how much that you can't say on how much that has had an effect. But what I will say is that for sure the results have been a little bit worse off recently. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Clay is not Sabalenka's most comfortable either, despite the fact that she quite likes playing in Madrid. Okay, so Collins wins another 3-setter. Yeah, by truly raising her level, she had so many insane winners just now. The third set was just a classic. I mean, she was on another level. Start of the second set, after every point, come on, let's go. I was laughing my head off watching it with my dad because every point she was just like she wasn't just screaming, come on. She was saying stuff to her box. She was like, right here, come on, hit it over the net every point, or like, let's go, we're winning this game. Like at one point she literally just stopped and looked at somebody in the crowd and said something like, okay, do you want to come up here and play? You want to come up here and play? You think it's so easy? Have some respect. Have some respect. Have some respect, okay? Have some respect. She's hilarious. She will just do her. She will do Danielle Collins will do what Danielle Collins does until the end. By the way, Sean Montgomery beating Bolter. What a celebration there as well by Montgomery. That's a great win for her. Montgomery's cool. I've liked what I've seen from her. She seems like she's a cool personality, cool player. Yeah, she had one career tour level win prior to Madrid. And this is her second career match against a top 10 player. Her first one, she lost to Goff at San Diego in 2022. Montgomery can be explosive, but very, very erratic, a bit like a young Saba. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen enough of her, but if she plays the Sabalenka way, then it's going to be hard to beat Sabalenka herself. Forehand lob from Montgomery. Backhand now. Forehand Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery with that lefty forehand. Backhand Sabalenka down the line. Is that in or out? It was very close. I think it was called out if I'm not mistaken. There's going to be a challenge here either way because it was very close. Yeah, 15 in a row. Collins just can't lose. I was saying it at the start of the second set too, though. I don't think she's going to lose this match to Christian. I was like, there's no way she's losing this one. She was so hyped up. It was out. Okay, it was out. She was so hyped up at the start of the second set, and Christian won like 94% of her first serve points. I was like, there's no way that Christian can just keep this level up. So, you know, I didn't know for sure that Collins would go have the third set that she did, but yeah. Who's Collins play next? The winner of this match versus Collins. Yeah. So it could be Sabalenka Collins. The commentator, I think Collins wants to win this match. Do you? Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, Collins just yelling all the time. It's like, right here, come on, come on. I don't think Danielle Collins is ever going to lose a tennis match in her whole life now. I don't think she's losing another match in her goddamn life. It's done. It's done. She's going to go on a 60-match win streak and then retire at the U.S. Open. Montgomery at 30-15 here, by the way. Serve Montgomery. That's a good serve down the tee. There you go. 40-15. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Sabalenka, obviously, with a very impressive run here in Madrid last year, where she took the title, beating Swiatek in an incredible final in the final of the tournament. I thought it was the best match the whole year. Sabalenka is not coming into Madrid as confident as she did at that time, having won the Australian Open prior to Madrid, and also just having good success. Although she should be confident now. I mean, she obviously defended her title in Australia, but it just recently just feels like, I don't know. I don't think she has the same confidence. Rybakina is going to be confident with what happened in Stuttgart and everything. We'll see. We'll see how Sabalenka can build up her level. Also, Swiatek is still a problem. It's a very interesting event on the WTA side. I picked Swiatek to win the title, but obviously of all the clay courts in the world, this is the one where Swiatek's probably going to be the least confident. What's Collins' record on grass? Seems like I've never seen her play at Wimbledon. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not as good as you'd expect it to be. I'll look up exactly what it is. I don't think she's ever made like the quarterfinals or anything. But it's better than like her Roland Garros record, I believe. No, it's not actually. Okay, yeah. So she reached the third round in 2019, but overall it's been pretty poor actually at Wimbledon. Yeah, Wimbledon is 44%, so that is very poor for Collins. Who'd she lose to like last year, for example? I'll look it up. It's a good question. But serve here from Montgomery at advantage. It's a double fault, so we're back to deuce. It would be bad for Montgomery to have two close games at the start and to lose both of them, so she really wants to hold right here. She doesn't want to get off to that kind of a start. Forehand to the backhand of Sabalenka, forehand Montgomery. That goes long, so we got a break point for Sabalenka. Break points for either player in the first couple games. Montgomery with the serve. Backhand Sabalenka, forehand Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka, backhand Montgomery. Forehand again to that backhand. Forehand Sabalenka, it goes wide. I like that energy from Montgomery. Trying to hype herself up and get something going here. She doesn't want to go down early. She wants to show that she is a contender in this match. I mean, it's the world number 183 versus world number 2, I believe. So, by the way, it's been a while since I've commentated a WTA match, longer than I would have wanted to. But I don't have the access right now to like different streaming for WTA, which would be awesome if Tennis TV had access to WTA matches as well. But I definitely want to do more. But yeah, Sabalenka number 2 in the world, right ahead of Goff, Rybakina, Pegula. Advantage here to Montgomery to hold early. A couple long games to start off. First serve in the net. Second serve here. The backhand to Sabalenka, backhand of Montgomery. The forehand to Sabalenka, backhand Montgomery again. That's in the net again, though. Deuce. The fact that Montgomery has played those matches, though, as long ago as 2022, a couple of years ago in San Diego, playing against Coco Gauff, I mean, she's been in situations where she's come up against some good players, also playing Katie Boulter, who's in form in the last round, getting through that one. So she's looking to make a step up here in her career. That's a great forehand down the line. I love that. I love the stroke on her forehand, the way it looks. Very clean. That's a great forehand winner, right into the corner. I love watching lefties, too. There's something about it. I can't explain it. It's a nightmare to play lefties on a tennis court. It's an absolute nightmare with their slice serves to my backhand and just being able to aggravate my backhand and not being able to escape their forehands is a nightmare. But watching them is fun. Also just brings something new. Backhand, drop shot, that's in the net. She had the point one. Decided to go for a drop shot. Not sure, maybe a little bit nervy, a decision. So deuce. Collins lost to Bencic in second round of Wimbledon last year in a third set tiebreaker. That one, Joe, honestly, I thought I had remembered that. Bencic is a player that I feel like should always be doing well on grass, and I feel like she's always losing to like fantastic players at Wimbledon. But I feel like she's primed for a good result on grass courts. I'm probably one of the only people paying attention to that or thinking that at all. But even before last year and her loss to Swiatek in that epic match, I feel like she always does well. What a backhand 360 from Sabalenka. Very flashy shots there. Sabalenka on the defense keeps it low with that backhand. One-handed backhand 360 shot. It was a great shot. It was a great forehand down the line from Montgomery. That Montgomery forehand is solid. I'm liking it already. That goes out with the half volley. Serve. That's in the net. Collins lost to Boskova in the first round 2022, and Boskova plays well at Wimbledon. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so she's probably losing to good players, but it is surprising with the way she plays that she hasn't been able to be that big of a problem on grass. That's a great return from Sabalenka. Ooh, massive cross-court winner off the return of serve. So 2-0 for Sabalenka, who grabs the lead early in 19 minutes. But like I said, I mean, it's good that Montgomery was able to keep it close there, but the fact that Sabalenka was able to pull out both of those games is not a great start for the confidence of Montgomery, because she's like, why did I hit that drop shot? Why did I do this? Why wasn't I able to convert the break points? Why was I, this could have been 1-0. I could have been up 2-0. I should have already been up 3-0. I should have broken the first game, then gone to a quick lead. Like, all of these things may be going in her head. But the truth of the matter is, Sabalenka just hit a forehand winner, and she's down 0-2, 15-love. Tennis is brutal, even right at the start of a match. Sabalenka back at the line. Serve from Saba. Forehand Montgomery, that's in the net. So 30-love. Montgomery does have a bit of a backswing on her forehand. I do notice that. And takes her a bit of a time to load up. But on clay, it can help to have that kind of a shot on clay, because obviously you just have more time to set up that shot and find better positions in the court where you're able to unload on that shot better and you're not rushed. Serve from Sabalenka. That goes wide. 30-15. Still feel like Montgomery could do something here. At least make it somewhat close. Hey, what's up, KC? Good to have you in here. Hello, hello. Both in 3 sets. Wow. Buskova nearly beat Rodrigo last year at Wimbledon and lost to Jabeur in 2022 at the quarterfinals. Wow. Both in 3 sets. There you go. So, to eventual finalist / champion, that's pretty crazy. To 2 great grass court players, that's tough. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw more than anything else. And if you just come up against a lot of great players in your draw, then that can make the difference more than anything. And sometimes that's why it's misleading. Like if you're losing second rounds, third rounds, look at the players that the players lost to. I always like to look at that. And often, when you're looking over a bigger pool of results and they keep losing in the first round, likely it's more so just the fact that they should be able to win some matches. But if if you lose in the third round, you lose to the world number 100 at Wimbledon, or if you lose to Ons Jabeur at Wimbledon, it's a little bit different. So 40-30 here for Sabalenka. See if Sabalenka can get to 3-0 here. Have a quick start. Aryna. Serve out wide. It's a good serve. Quick start for Sabalenka, the defending champion. She's looking to play the woman of the moment, Danielle Collins, with her 15-match win streak coming off of Miami victory. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yesterday, yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, also so many good French players, so many good Italian players on the men's side. But the Czech players, I mean, come on. The Czech players, come on, especially on the WTA side. You also have the Fruvertova sisters. There's a lot of good Russian players as well. A lot of good Ukrainian players. A lot of good, so many good players. So many good Spanish players. Even more good Spanish players back in the day, honestly. But I think the French players are kind of being underrated by how many good ones there are, at least on the ATP side. So many good young French players. Luca Van Osch, Arthur Fils, Quentin Moutet is somebody, but Hugo Humbert is somebody. He was playing earlier today. So, yeah, I mean, so many good French players. But it's good. It's good. So many good American players as well on both sides, which kind of makes sense. But on the men's side, there's no elite player. On the women's side, you've got Coco. So we'll see when we get an elite player, but yeah. Joe, did I get frozen there? Yeah. Hopefully that does not happen again. Apologies for that. Should be back. Forehand to the backhand of Montgomery. Backhand of Sabalenka. The forehand of Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka. The forehand of Montgomery. Forehand to backhand here. Backhand Sabalenka. Kind of does another 360. Forehand cross court. But that goes out. Montgomery's at 15 love. I got the feeling Montgomery's not going to just kind of quit here. By the way, Tiafoe in the crowd watching on. There's Tiafoe, lost to Pedro Cachin yesterday. Cachin is going to have a very, very simple match playing Rafa on clay in his next. Not simple whatsoever, is it? But he's going to have Nadal next. Cachin beat Tiafoe And Cashin lost like 14 matches in a row or something at tour level. So he's finally getting some wins. But yeah, Tiafoe watching on here. Struff played really well against Humbert today. Yeah, he must have. Struff is playing with such great confidence, just getting his first ATP title. He played great here last year, too. Definitely a quicker clay court, and that's going to help, too, for him, who likes to really net rush a lot. Forehand to the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand up high from Montgomery. Forehand lob now. Montgomery running all over the place. Forehand smash. Smash put away. So 15 all. 15 all. Yeah, Humbert is not going to like clay courts as much, obviously, because a big part of his game is, hitting winners and getting a lot of pace on his shots off both wings. And he doesn't like rallying as much, especially back in the day. It's missing a lot of early forehands in particular, missing a lot of early shots. His shot tolerance has gotten better, but just all across the board, clay is not his best surface. That to be said, clay isn't bad. He's not bad on clay, but Struff must have played really well. Griekspoor versus Runa, that was a great performance. Also, ADF versus Rublev was a great match. But yeah, Griekspoor getting the win over Runa. Runa was never going to like Madrid, I think, the conditions here as much, but that's a great win for Talon. I've been waiting for Griekspoor to really pick it up in the bigger events. And listen, he wasn't a factor in the clay court swing last year because he was injured throughout most of it, but I think clay might be his best surface. He literally won a title on hard courts and grass courts last year, and he was just injured for the clay swing. I actually think clay might be his best surface, so I would watch out for Griekspoor. He just needs to pick it up in the big events. Other than that, he's solid. Griekspoor is solid. He's talented. He's pretty, he's pretty complete. He's service versatile. That's a great backhand cross court from Montgomery. Love it. 40-15. It's a great backhand. Serve Montgomery, forehand, the forehand of Sabalenka, backhand of Montgomery. Down line to backhand of Sabalenka, stretching out. Forehand Montgomery. That's a great shot. That's a solid game. Big roar from Montgomery there, trying to pick herself up. So it's 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. But yeah, Montgomery went the juniors route. She was playing junior Grand Slams. And she did win a title at the 2021 U.S. Open. One of the very best juniors. I think she was junior world number 2 last year, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that, I believe it was last year. Might have been the year before. Yeah, this is her first time winning back-to-back matches at tour level. Before this year, she had only won one match. That's a great forehand swinging volley from Sabalenka. So 15 love. Her lone WTA win, by the way, was in 2023 Miami, where she beat Anna Bogdan for her first tour level win, where she got a wild card into Miami last year. Montgomery is from Washington, right? Yeah, from Washington. Yes. From Washington. Lefty player. And counting challengers in ITF, she's played a lot. She has an 164 record, which is very good, even at the lower kind of levels of the sport. But yeah, she's very new to tour level, but she's been around the competitive. She's not a player who went through college or something like this, which is fine as a route. But she's been playing a lot of ITF challengers, juniors, so she's been in this kind of competitive thing, which is really good to match this kind of intensity that you need when you play a player like Sabalenka. That's why she was able to get past Katie Boulter in the last round as well. So she's starting off super young, 19. That's just her kind of journey and her route. That's a great ace from Sabalenka. So she's at 4-1 here. She's out 4-1. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to step off for a second. I'll be right back for this 4-1 game. Back for the call here. It's love 15 for Sabalenka on Montgomery's serve. It's a good learning experience, I guess, for Montgomery either way, whatever happens. But it's a big back in return from Sabalenka. So it's love 30. Blasting a bunch of winners. Let me know, guys. Do you think Sabalenka, though, is going to be able to defend her? Do you think Sabalenka is going to be able to defend her title here in Madrid, or is somebody else taking the tournament? Seems like Danielle Collins is on a. I mean, that's going to be a crazy round of 16 match between Sabalenka and Collins. And Collins can play on clay. I mean, she's won a couple titles on clay before. So sometimes people kind of misconstrued sometimes the big hitting players can't play on clay, but that's not always the case. I mean, see, Sabalenka won Madrid here last year. Rybakina, who won in Rome. It's not always the case. Rublev won Monte Carlo last year. And we've had great hard-hitting clay players. Obviously, it's not what favors. Clay doesn't favor those players in general. That doesn't favor that play style in general. But that'll be interesting. But yeah, Rybakina, Swiatek. Coco is playing amazing. Just won a double bagel the other day. It's going to be interesting to see. Oh, wow. Montgomery called for a foot fault. That's pretty crazy. She's out love 40. That's got to be harsh. She's down 1-4 love 40. That's what happens with those tight moments in the first couple games, by the way. She could have just as easily been up 2-0 as having gone down 0-2. And now Sabalenka is crushing forehands, backhand. She's confident. She's got the momentum. She's got the rhythm. It's cruel. Tennis is cruel. Suddenly now it's 5-1. So 19 minutes in the first couple of games, almost 10 minutes per each game. And Sabalenka won both. And now she's swinging. She's not feeling as much pressure. And now she's serving for the set. That's also experience with Sabalenka, knowing she's got to win those first couple games. Get off to a good start. First serve's in the net. Second serve. Forehand of Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka. The backhand Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka. The backhand Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka. Forehand of Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka. Again to the forehand of Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka. Oh, what a shot there. So love 15. Wow. Montgomery's barely winning points now at this point since those first couple of games. Just feels like Sabalenka's forehand is definitely hitting way better than Montgomery's at the moment, especially now that Sabalenka is starting to unload and hit so many winners. I mean, Montgomery's forehand is good, but she hasn't, I don't know, Sabalenka's hitting way more winners with that shot. Back in cross court goes for a big one, Montgomery, but it's 30 love Sabalenka. Looks like she's going to be out of this set. Just like that, too. Very quick last few games from Sabalenka here. Serve out wide, back in Montgomery, way up high, back into Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery, forehand swing volley, Sabalenka. Sabalenka's playing incredibly well. I guess that's what you got to expect, especially on this court. So 40 love here. Sabalenka catches her ball toss, but she's got 3 set points here to finish off Montgomery in this first set. Big serve out wide, forehand, the backhand Sabalenka, down the line, backhand Montgomery. Cross court, the forehand to Sabalenka, it's in the net, 40-15. 40-15. Some good women's matches, by the way, coming up. Mira Andreeva with a great win over Vondrousova earlier today. And she was, I mean, after the match, she was saying, listen, I feel like I should win this match. And that's a crazy thing to say after playing the Wimbledon champion. But yeah, I mean, she had a great breakthrough run at this tournament last year when I believe she was 15 years old. So got to the round 16 here. Wow, that's a big forehand from Montgomery. Love that. 40-30. Not so fast. At least saying some statements going into the second set that I'm still here to play. But yeah, there's some good matches. Andreeva versus Paolini is very good. Rybakina's got a pretty good draw. Bejlek, who beat Kalinskaya, is through to the 4th round, but that's a match that I feel Rybakina will probably feel like she should win. She's on a bit of a win streak herself. Off of Stuttgart. Ostapenko Jabeur is incredible. Keys versus Goff, all-American matchup. Auden Maya Sakura is pretty good. Swiatek Cerebo Stormo. We could get Cerebo Stormo hot in Maya quarterfinal. 4.5 hours long quarterfinal. That forehand goes wide, so a good fight back here from Montgomery. I love it. Still fighting, giving the crowd something to cheer about with in terms of a competitive match here. Of all those matches, though, Ostapenko Jabeur has got to be one of the most interesting ones. 9th seed versus the 8th seed. Jabeur finally getting some wins under her belt. That'll be an interesting one. Second serve coming here from Sabalenka. Ooh, Montgomery with the big backhand, but it goes out. Almost feels like Montgomery is going for more winners off the backhand than the forehand, though. Like it almost feels like Montgomery is more confident going for winners off that backhand than that forehand now. And I mean, it just feels like not exactly what Montgomery wants at the moment. I mean, the disparity in forehand winners, I'm sure, would be much higher for Sabalenka at the moment. Backhand down the middle, forehand to Sabalenka, backhand Montgomery. That goes out. So first set, 6-1-2, Aryna Sabalenka. She grabs the first set. In 40 minutes, 40-minute long 6-1 set is pretty unusual. But half of that was just the first two games of the set. Half of that was just the first two games of the set. By the way, Paul and Cerundolo are playing as well. That was a final on a grass court, I believe, last year. One of the lead-ups right before Wimbledon. Maybe it was Eastbourne? I think it was Eastbourne. Pretty sure. Tommy Paul beat JJ Wolf on Route 2. I forget who else. But they played on grass last year. Paul was losing all the time to Cerundolo last year. Then he finally got a win, but that should be an interesting one. Yeah, 2-2. Yeah, Paul beat Cerundolo in Canada in 3 sets. Cerundolo beat Paul in the final of Eastbourne, also beat him in Queens. So twice he beat him on grass courts. That's pretty surprising because Cerundolo is known for clay courts, and Paul, I think, should be good on grass courts if you just look at the way he plays. But yeah, anyway, that's an interesting match going on at the moment. Cerundolo took the first set. On a clay court, you'd have to favor Cerundolo, but listen, the American guys are doing well in this tournament. I mean, Shelton beat Mahac in like 44 minutes, 6-2, 6-0. Alcaraz is playing great, which is awesome. Fritz won in straight sets over Baez. And Shapo is going to take on Zverev. So that's a good one, too. Anthony with a different background. Yeah, Sean. What's up? What's up? Yeah, I don't have access to streaming, so I watch the WTA matches just on TV. So this is the room with the TV. So that's why I'm in a different background. But yeah, no. This tournament though is very interesting. I mean, on the men's side and the women's side. I mean, WTA doesn't have Monte Carlo, although Stuttgart is a very big tournament as well. Had all of the top 4 seeds. But it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. I think on the men's side, Alcaraz is the big favorite now. I said that if he's healthy, he's going to look like the big favorite, but it would be pretty amazing if we could get like a Sinner Alcaraz final. I really think that would be amazing. That would be an amazing match if we could get it. Sinner is seeming to play really well too. And obviously he's been playing great all year. He's been playing like the best player in the world. But Alcaraz on clay courts might be too stern of a test. We'll see, though. He might not be. I mean, Sinner beat him the one time they played on clay. Pretty handily, you could argue. Big forehand from Sabalenka goes out. I'm going to predict a much closer scoreline in the second set. I think very few would not predict that, to be honest. Because Montgomery fought well towards the end of that set. She fought very well at the start of the set. She had great signs throughout. And it was 40 minutes long. So usually a 40-minute long set is usually a 40-minute long set does not have a 6-1 scoreline. Usually it's 6-3, 6-4, not even 7-5 maybe, but usually like a 6-4 scoreline. Korda plays Medi tomorrow, I think. Medvedev doing pretty well for himself on the clay. He did well here last year too, despite you not really expecting it with the high bounce of the court. But yeah, that'll be interesting. It does play quicker though, which you might think might help Medvedev a little bit more. That'll be interesting. Medvedev does not like playing Korda. Korda does not mind a clay court, so that will be a big, big test for Medvedev. That's going to be a really interesting match, really compelling. They have not played since Shanghai, right? I don't think those two have played since Shanghai and Australian Open. Dream Finals, Nadal versus Alcaraz. Joe, that'd be so good. In the Spanish capital. Yeah, that would be great. Sinner versus Rafa, too, in the semis would be amazing. If we could get Sinner versus Rafa and then Rafa versus Alcaraz, that would be one of the greatest clay tournaments ever. I don't know. Am I exaggerating? I would love it. I would love it. It would be one of my favorite tournaments ever. If we could have Rafa in his comeback tournament, his big comeback tournament where he gets to a final of 1,000 again, and he gets to the set, he beats Sinner in the semis, for example, and then loses to Alcaraz or beats Alcaraz in the final, whatever happens in the final. Just having those two matches happen would be amazing. We've seen a lot of Djokovic playing those guys. Now it's Nadal's turn. That's a big backhand from Sabalenka to get to 40-30. Still Montgomery in the lead, trying to equal the amount of games that she got in the first set at least. I really like Montgomery's vibe, though. I really want to watch more of her play. I have seen an interview or two of her. I've scarcely watched her play. Like I said, I watched her play like a juniors match randomly, like a couple years ago. But in the Australian Open, I like to watch the juniors also, because at the Australian Open, you can watch so much stuff. Like they all, like, I don't know, something about the Australian Open. Like there's invitational. Montgomery at the first game, she gets to 1-0. Yeah, those first two games were really crucial. Sabalenka breaking with a backhand cross-court return winner. Then after that, it was hard for Montgomery to win a lot of points. Sabalenka started cruising, and that really freed her up, and she started blasting a lot of winners. From around, I don't know, like 3-1 to 5-1 40 love. But it felt like Montgomery didn't even win a point. I mean, maybe she won like 1 or 2 points. Felt like it was hard for her to even win points at that point. Here we go. Second game of the match. Second game of the set. Sabalenka with an ace out wide, so 15 love. I predict the set goes to a tiebreaker. It's a good guess, Joe. I'm gonna stick with my initial prediction. I said 6-3, 7-5. I'm gonna say the set is 7-5 Sabalenka. I'm gonna say 7-5 Sabalenka. First set stats, by the way. Sabalenka first serve percentage, 77% of her first serves in. She won 70% of her first serve points. So good stuff all around. Sabalenka won, according to that stat, 13 of the last 16 points. And yeah, those are so I was correct. So because those would be the 3 points at 5-1 when she was up 40 love for Montgomery to get back to deuce. So if it's 13 of the last 16, then it means the 12 points before that, Sabalenka won consecutively, if I have the math right. So that means that she won the three straight games without dropping a point. And yeah, that should be correct. Or no, it would be 11 straight points. But yeah, it would be from 3-1 to 5-1 40 love. She didn't drop a single point. Two games to love and also 40 love. Yeah. 40 love here for Sabalenka. This will be a really interesting next service game from Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka at the backhand of Montgomery. Forehand now Sabalenka. It's called out, but it looks close. No, I don't think there's going to be a challenge here. 40-15. Backhand down the middle to forehand of Montgomery. That's in the net. So 1-1 for Sabalenka. Something that's really interesting to me, Fritz beat Sebastian Baez 6-2, 6-3 today. Fritz made kind of his mark on clay courts last year. He just reached his first clay final. I'm a little bit curious if maybe Fritz is going to do something on clay this year. Reached the semis of Monte Carlo last year, pushed Rublev to 3 sets. I'm kind of curious. I mean, Fritz this year, he's kind of been defending as well as I've seen him, adding a little bit more variety into his game, doing a little bit better off the backhand. On clay, he's not able to really be rushed on that shot very much. I mean, he's doing some good things. So I mean, beating Baez 6-2, 6-3. I mean, I don't think Baez is going to love these super high bouncing courts. It's like that's always was Schwartzman's least favorite. It's a short guy's nightmare because the ball's just you're going to try to be playing tennis. The ball's just going to be bouncing over your head. Sebastian Baez is not the tallest guy on the tour, that's for sure. He's one of the shortest guys. But yeah, I think that's an interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Fritz does in this clay court season. Because Fritz, something about Fritz, people say what they want about Fritz. He's one of the hardest working guys on the whole tour. And, there's been proof of it time and time again, not just in tennis, but with everything. Hard work pays off. So we'll see if it pays off for Fritz in some way or another, but he is one of the hardest working guys around. Paul Cerundolo currently playing out their third set, by the way. That's a really interesting match going on right now. Really interesting. Paul took the first set, 9-7, the first set breaker. And yeah, like I said, they're tied up 2-2 in their head-to-head. Tommy Paul won the last match that they played. Cerundolo won the two meetings that they played on grass courts where Tommy Paul should be winning the matches. Now they're playing on clay court where Cerundolo should be winning the matches, but Paul's kind of doing well. It's a great serve out wide, by the way, from Montgomery with a great kick serve, so 40 love for her. Feels like Montgomery's doing better. She has a little bit more rhythm on the serve. Sabalenka's not able to attack it as much. We're at 51 minutes into this match, and it's 40 love for Montgomery. Robin Montgomery. First serve in the net, so second serve. Forehand Montgomery, that's in the net, 40-15. Serve Montgomery. The backhand of Sabalenka. That goes out. Love the kind of pep in her step from Montgomery. Getting to 2-1. Not as much as Collins, where Collins was just yelling after every shot. But 2-1. It's gotten so hot, by the way, and I'm trying to play some tennis on some leagues. I was playing doubles all last year. I'm starting to play singles leagues this year where I'm trying to play tennis myself. And it is so hot in Atlanta. I forgot about the kind of fitness part of things for playing singles, because playing doubles, when you play doubles for Alta or whatever, it's not as bad because you have a partner to rely on. You don't have to cover the whole court. For singles, I forgot about how bad the fitness or how much you need to work on the fitness part of things. So I'm trying to play singles, but I realized I really need to get in need to work on it again in some shape because singles and doubles are a fully different sport. And Atlanta is crazy with the weather. I wish I was playing singles leagues more in the winter, but I'm starting to now, and summer's coming around. So anyway, it's a good challenge for me to get my fitness up. But I'm also going on runs and different stuff like that to help improve. But no, but playing tennis and watching tennis it's a lot of fun for me to play and also commentate and watch tennis. Because when I'm playing a match, I start thinking about the things that I wish I was able to tell Sabalenka or Montgomery, like hit her back and hit her those kind of things creep into my tennis when I'm playing on my much lower level, much lower level. But yeah, it's just kind of fun. I got to sweat it out. Yeah, Casey, exactly. Yeah, you got to go through the work though. So exactly. But I forgot about how different singles and doubles are playing just real intense kind of matches. They're like a whole different beast, honestly. Sabalenka here at 15 all. But yeah. Let me know if you guys play singles matches as well. If you guys are doing any leagues or anything like that, because I just started really doing it for the first time in many years. It's been like 6-7 years since I've really played singles leagues and stuff like that. So it's been a while for me. Forehand to the backhand Sabalenka. It's in the net. Better from Montgomery here. Better from Montgomery. 15-30. It's a half a chance here. See what Montgomery can do. Let's go Montgomery. Let's go Montgomery. See if she can make something of this. It was kind of obvious that this set was going to be closer than the first set. In just about every possible way. It seemed very likely that this set was going to be closer. Montgomery was fighting well towards the end. She had some good signs in the first set. It got away from her. As did that forehand just now. So 30 all. 58 minutes already. 58 minutes already, and we've played, what is that? 10 games. So pretty long for that, for this kind of a scoreline. It's a good ace out wide, so 40-30. Serve here, Sabalenka. The backhand of Montgomery. Forehand, Sabalenka. She's got a game point. Backhand, Montgomery. Cross court, forehand, Sabalenka. That's in the net. Deuce. See what Montgomery can do. Making it interesting. We still don't know the result of the match. We still don't know. We don't know for sure. These kind of things make it interesting. You never know until it happens. When Montgomery took on Katie Boulter, and she had never won back-to-back matches at tour level, and Katie Boulter took the first set 6-1, just like Sabalenka just did, everybody would have said, well, it's over. You know, watching that, it's like, okay, good run Montgomery, but it's done. Well, Montgomery won in the third set, so you just never know, absolutely. But that being said, quite likely. Also, with the way that they play, Sabalenka is just a little bit stronger, but match is still happening. We don't know the result. First serve, Sabalenka goes out. Second serve. Two minutes from the hour mark. From the 1 hour mark. Second serve from Sabalenka here. Kick serve to forehand Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka. The backhand Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka. Backhand Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka. Get to that backhand. Backhand Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery steps in. Hits to the backhand Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery. Down the line. Best rally of the match so far. Forehand. Montgomery hits big to the backhand Sabalenka. Montgomery just not making enough aggressive strides on that forehand. Not being able to put it away. Backhand Montgomery. Oh, what a shot down the... Oh, did she miss it? Is there a challenge? There's surely a challenge coming. Best point in the match, though. Best point in the match, but I think Montgomery just missed the backhand down the line. Oh, she was so close with it. Two. Serve here from Montgomery. First serve goes long. Second set's already a tighter affair. See how the American can do here at 2-2. Sabalenka stepping inside the baseline to try to return the second serve. Backhand big. Down the middle. Backhand Sabalenka. Taking it real early. That goes out from Sabalenka. He wants to challenge this call, but it might be too late. No, Sabalenka is allowed to challenge. It was very late, though. I don't know if I would have given it to her, to be honest. But, I mean, there's no consistency. There's just no consistency, is there? It is in, by the way. It's flat on the line. But there's no consistency with the with the umpires and when they allow to challenge and when they don't, when you can stop the point and when you can't, and when there's a replay and when there's not. There's no consistency. There's zero. Man, I can't wait for next year when we don't even have to think about these line calls. We're using it for Hawkeye anyway. Hey, how about we use it this year? Hey, how about we use it in 2024? It's like, hey, guys, it's going to be everywhere in 2025. Don't you worry. It's like, yeah, but why not now? You know, these are the biggest tennis tournaments in the world. Why can't we have it now? There's no consistency with the split-second judgment calls. None. Zero. 30 love Montgomery here at 2-2. Paul and Cerundolo are fighting it out. That's an interesting one. Serve Montgomery. Hits it long. Second serve. Forehand to Sabalenka. Back in Montgomery down the line. That's in the net, though. So 30-15. That's in the net, though. Serve here from Montgomery. First serve goes wide. Second serve. Backhand Sabalenka. That goes out. So 40-15 here for Montgomery. Already a much better serving set for sure from Montgomery here in the second set. Much better serving set. Backhand down the line, backhand slice Saba. The forehand of Montgomery, backhand Sabalenka. The backhand of Montgomery, backhand Montgomery again. That goes wide though, so 40-30 for Montgomery. When you run, Anthony, do you run at the same speed for the whole run? Sometimes I try to sprint it out at the end if I'm feeling real ambitious. But yeah, for the most part, that's how I like to do it. I like to run the same speed. I like to run the same speed, and then if I'm feeling real ambitious, I'll just sprint at the end. But for the most part, same speed. Yeah. Is being a line judge a full-time job? That's actually a good question. I don't know very well. I don't know actually. That's a great question. I would think yes, although I don't know. I don't know how much they get paid. I think I looked this up at one point, but it was a long time ago. I can't remember. It's a really good question. Really good question. How much money do tennis referees make? Pay can range from $100 to $500 per day, depending on the tournaments. So I guess it depends like how many tournaments you're doing. Okay, they're paid on the order of $100 to $150 per day. So I don't know. I guess they can be full-time. It depends on how much they like. I don't know how much a line judge is doing it. Like you have to really travel around as a line judge, I guess, right? Because you have to travel the world just like the players if you want to do a whole lot of pro tournaments. I'm sure that's for like the highest level tennis tournaments as well. So that sounds like more like part-time, unless you can do a lot of tournaments. It's a good question though. Also, sorry if I'm not talking as much. I'm a bit entranced by this Paul Cerundolo match as well. I loved their matches last year. I thought they were really phenomenal. It's kind of a niche kind of thing. I'm just really Tommy Paul is one of my favorite players probably to watch, and he was really struggling against Cerundolo. Then he played a great match at the U.S. Open to figure it out against him. Now they're tied up 2-2, and Paul is not supposed to be very good on clay courts, but he's really testing out Cerundolo. So Cerundolo has not been in as good of a form recently, but he's kind of figured it out a little bit in the last few events. Also at the Golden Swing. It just got a little bit interesting, this matchup to me. So I'm kind of watching that at the same time a little bit. Sabalenka here with the serve at 15 love. First serve is a let. Serve forehand Montgomery, backhand Sabalenka. Backhand drop shot Montgomery, that's in the middle of the net. Not a good drop shot. So we're at 30 love for Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery, forehand Sabalenka big. Forehand Montgomery chipped. Forehand volley, backhand slice. Smash Sabalenka put away. 40 love for Saba. 40 love for Sabalenka. Some pretty fun points, but it just kind of feels like the Sabalenka result is a little bit inevitable. It's a good showing, fair showing from Montgomery, though. So we'll see. But it just feels like Montgomery is not able to make the strides with the forehand that Sabalenka is able to do at the moment, which is definitely not really ideal. Also, Sabalenka's backhand is quite good, especially if it feels like in these conditions where she's got time to kind of set up her backhand, but also she has the pace of shot and also kind of goes up to her backhand where she can kind of hit over it. I noticed that a lot in the Swiatek match last year, especially in the third set. There were a lot of great backhand rallies, and Sabalenka was coming out on top. So it just feels like Montgomery's lack of forehand, killing the forehand and finishing off points, and also Sabalenka's strength on the backhand, especially when we go forehand to backhand, is really kind of the defining thing in the match so far in a lot of these forehand to backhand rallies. Montgomery forehand placement, by the way. Yeah, that's why I was just saying they're showing on the tennis channel at the moment. Is Montgomery is hitting 55% of her forehands into the Sabalenka backhand, and yet Sabalenka is being really impressive in being able to withstand that anyway, and being able to do real well in a lot of these rallies. Serve the forehand to Sabalenka, backhand Montgomery. The forehand to Sabalenka, backhand Montgomery. Again, that one goes long though, so 15 all here. 15 all. And to go at full speed. Do this repetition at least 5 times during your run to build your fitness quicker. Okay, Joe, thanks for the advice. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. Because oftentimes, yeah, I just at the very end, I'll kind of sprint. I don't know if I do it for the last 1/10, though, to be honest. I probably do it for less, so I'll definitely consider that for running better. Interval training, right? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And that's kind of what I do. I mean, I don't, yeah, I just run at, I don't usually do a whole long run. I'll like run and then take a break and then run, take a break. But yeah, that sounds good. That's something I'll definitely consider. I don't know if Sabalenka meant to do that, but she had a forehand drop shot return winner. I think that was. Tiafoe in the crowd. They show Tiafoe in the crowd who's smiling about it. It's got to be a big miss hit from Sabalenka. I mean, she just kind of fly swatted at it. It was almost a body serve. Sabalenka a perfect drop shot, but there's no way she tried to do that. Montgomery had to smile about it too. Montgomery gives me like a Leylah Fernandez vibe as well. Something about her and also with being a lefty as well. That goes in the net, so 30-40 here for Montgomery. Nice. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe, like always, to Quality Shot Tennis if you are new. Appreciate everybody who's joined in. Don't forget to like the stream. That's help out the Quality Shot Tennis channel. We will be back here for more matches as well. Serve down the tee, forehand Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery down the line. That's a great forehand. Finally, more pop off that forehand. She could hold here. Save break point, hold here. You never know. But she's got to figure it out. And I mean, listen, that was a forehand down the line. That forehand down the line has been way better than the forehand cross court. She's got to be not scared of that Sabalenka forehand. Big roar after that. So she's got to be not scared of that Sabalenka forehand and be able to go to that side. Because going to the other side, she hasn't been able to finish off points or do much of anything to hurt Sabalenka. Sabalenka hits behind Montgomery. It's a great play on the clay. Montgomery, though, getting to it. Forehand. The back into Montgomery. Back cross court. Forehand. Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery. Back in Sabalenka. Forehand volley Montgomery is a great shot. Getting the crowd involved a little bit, too. Some big roars. She still believes, which is half of it. Advantage Montgomery. Advantage to the American. That's some great feel at the net as well. Listen, that's what she's got to do. Switch it up more. Find ways to come to net. If she can play at the net, why not? I mean, she's not going to get that many opportunities, you think, but either way, she's got to do something. It's a great serve down the tee and a big roar from Montgomery. Nice. You love it. 4-3. Incredible service hold there. You love it. Makes the match a little bit more interesting there at the very end. I hope Montgomery can make it close. I've really enjoyed watching this match from her and her end of the court. So I definitely want to watch more of what she's got to bring. And she's still a teenager. She's still got loads of time. Be interesting to see how it goes. There's a lot of great young players on WTA coming up. Obviously, Coco, who it feels like she's been around for like a decade, but she's still like just turned 20, I believe. Mira Andreeva winning. Fantastic. Fruvertova sisters. And just so many good Czech players altogether. Noskova. I mean, we're going to, like, Zhang as well. We're going to have a great next kind of era, especially with Swiatek, Sabalenka, Rybakina, Osaka could be in the mix as well. We got Ash Barty stolen from us because she went on to do other things, which is fine. But you missed Barty. We got the Swiatek Barty rivalry got stolen right before our eyes, so bit unfortunate. Mira Andreeva, though, I would not be surprised if she just comes out of nowhere and gets to like the final of a slam or something. Like has like a Steffi Graf, Martina Hingis type of run where she just gets to the top immediately. Like she's next level. So of all the young players coming up, I haven't been like, while I've been watching tennis, I don't think I've been this excited about a player who's like a young player like Mira Andreeva. Not to this extent. I don't think I have been. So her potential is just so ridiculous. And yeah, if we could get like Osaka in the mix as well, Osaka, Andreeva, Swiatek, like different generations, but a little bit, but that'd be incredible. And Rybakina. Backhand. Oh, down the line. What a backhand. Sabalenka, this is why she's been world number one. This is why she's been world number one. She loves Madrid. She loves Madrid. Montgomery with a much closer set, but she didn't play a bad first set either. She had a bad streak there of 11 consecutive points for Sabalenka, but before that and after that, she still played some good points. She was showing good signs. Forehand. Oh, Montgomery's a great forehand down the line. Backhand Montgomery. Again hits over down the line. It's another great shot. Oh, Sabalenka, the backhand cross court rally of the match. Hitting corner to corner. Great stuff. All the angles. Using all the angles. Montgomery had some great shots. Surely, it felt like she had to be a little bit more defensive on a couple of those shots and slice them or something. She hit great deep topspin backhands and forehands, even on the full defense. Montgomery is somebody to look out for. I really think so. I think she's somebody to look out for. I don't know exactly what her ceiling is. It's impossible to say at this point, but she's played a good match. Serve from Sabalenka here. The forehand of Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka down the line. It's a great shot. Backhand Montgomery gets it. Forehand swing volley. That's too good. Sabalenka is playing fantastic, though. I mean, she's playing up to her ranking. She's playing the Sabalenka way. So, good for her. 4-4. LOL, how many slams did she say she plans to win? Yeah, no, I remember seeing that, but I don't know. I mean, some of these young players are so good. I could see them winning a lot of slams. Mira Andreeva, I could see winning a lot. So I don't mind it. I don't want them putting a lot of pressure on themselves, but I could see that her winning a lot. She could also win none. You really never know. She could also win none. I've seen that happen. Funny example of that is Jerzy Janowicz at Paris. I was like, okay, he's going to be like an all-time great. I literally remember telling my dad, I literally think he's going to be an all-time great. This guy is hitting drop shots. He's 6'8". He's hitting the most insane, ridiculous shots I've ever seen. He's hitting like 360 backhand winners, and he has incredible athleticism, sliding incredibly well, moving incredibly well for his height. He's hitting aces like every serve. He got to the final there. Beat some great top seeds. I was like, Janowicz is going to win many majors and stuff. Like, I remember telling my dad that. I was like 11 or something. I think I was 12, actually. No, I might have been 11. I can't remember. But yeah, and then Janowicz, I mean, he got to the semifinals of Wimbledon and lost to Murray in a great match, but didn't do much after that. Serve down the tee. Montgomery, the forehand down the line. I love it. Montgomery is hitting more to that forehand. She's hitting more down the line. So this is good stuff from Montgomery. And that's good because it's unpredictable. You're opening up the court more. It's not always about hitting it to the weakness. Sometimes it's hitting it to the strength, opening up the court, being able to find the space, hit winners, and really go for it. Even if you get burned, sometimes it's good to, at least test it out a little bit. Test out the fires. Serve here from Montgomery. Sabalenka waiting with that forehand return now cross court. Backhand slice is a good one from Montgomery. Backhand. The forehand of Sabalenka. That goes out though. That goes long. 30-15 for Montgomery. Though famously flows through Paris, the river Seine also passes through which of these cities? Anthony A. Nantes, B. Rouen, C. Orleans, D. Marseille. Is it Rouen? I'm going to guess Rouen, Joe, but let me know. Feel like I should know? What about the Thames, Joe? That's a good question. Let me know. Good trivia question. 40-15 for Montgomery here. He had some tough competition. But yeah, that's fair as well. 40-15. I love seeing these trivia questions in the chat. Growing up, I would go to this to this pizza place every Thursday to play trivia every week for like 6-7 years. This pizza place called Steve Arino's with my family. That place is closed down now, but downtown, right by my house, also right by where I went to high school. But I'm only just now getting back into playing trivia and stuff. But I love it. It's a lot of fun, and you get to learn too. So that's always fun. That's always what I think about when I see you guys asking different trivia questions in the chat. Yes, Anthony, it was a question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that I'm watching in the background. Okay, got you, Joe. Nice. I got it. I totally butchered that name of that city, by the way, in Tennis 360, which I think you left a comment. Did you, Joe? I think you saw that podcast, but I totally butchered the name of that city, Ruin. But anyway. I'm learning the differences of American English spelling and that it doesn't always translate the same to other languages. I'm learning slowly, but tennis is educational. Sports is educational. It's good in that way. And tennis is so global that I have to learn so many different names of so many different cities. So that's why I'm doing this in the first place. That's why I'm doing tennis commentary in the first place. I don't care about tennis. What? I'm just here to learn city names, obviously. LOL. We got 5-4 for Montgomery. Sabalenka's about to try to hold her serve. By the way, Francisco Cerundolo, 2 match points against Paul. I think he closed out that one. Yeah, Paul with the missed backhand volley, and Cerundolo gets the win. It was always Cerundolo to be the favorite in that one on the clay courts. Good signs for Paul, though. I mean, to push Cerundolo like that, get to the third round, it's actually not that bad of a run. Cerundolo's got Shapo or Zverev in the next round. That's a really interesting section. We'll see how Shapo does against Zverev. I'd love to see Shapo get a win. I'd love to see Shapo get a win there. And I'd love to see him go on a deep run. We need Shapo back at the top. Period. Would anybody be opposed to having Shapovalov back in the top 10? Does he have people who does he have haters? Does Shapovalov have people who are not fans of him if he's playing well? I don't think so. He's just a likable dude who happens to be one of the most talented players of the last 10 years who just can't figure out ways to win matches over the last couple of years, but he's doing better. So everybody would be happy to see him back at the top. Who would not be happy to see Shapo, figure it out a little bit more? Backhand off the rise from Sabalenka. Forehand. Oh, it's a wild one. Did she get it or did she miss it? Very close. It's called out, and it looked out. It looked in until it looked in until it landed, but it was out. So listen, that forehand, she's just not able to finish enough points. The forehand, Tiafoe in the crowd with his hood over his face, not being able to watch. That's a forehand that Montgomery should have put away here. That's a forehand Montgomery should have put away. Backhand goes out. Tiafoe watching on. I'm starting to think, are they dating or something? I'm just thinking. No, okay. I'm not in on the whole dating scene of tennis and whatever. Okay, Tiafoe's dating a different girl. Ion Broomfield. Okay, cool. So just watching on, I guess. The Thames passes through a famous city in addition to London. Any guesses? Good question, Casey. It must be an obscure city. I think something like Winchester. Yeah, I don't have a great answer, so I don't have a good guess. I'm waiting for a tennis question to appear. Yeah. There are a few trivia things that I'm much better at than others. Whether that's theater, film, music, like entertainment in general, tennis is one, or just different like racket sports in particular. A little bit better at than other things. Those are a few of my like fields of expertise where I do a little bit better. Also like art, visual art, but just like entertainment in general in that way. Much closer second set. Before the match started, I said 6-3, 7-5 for Sabalenka. Just a little bit interesting. Okay, got close to my score. We'll see. Forehand surely put away from Montgomery. Yup, put away. Solid. 15 love. Serve here from Montgomery. Out wide, back in Sabalenka. Forehand of Montgomery, back in Sabalenka down the line. That goes long. Who's that tiebreaker this set? You might be onto something. You might be onto something. Tiafoe's from Washington as well. No. Okay, got you. But I guess maybe they knew each other. Maybe through that. That could be. Practicing in some similar spots before they went on to the pros. Could imagine that. Just know each other in different ways. I would imagine that'd be the case. Backhand Sabalenka down the line. Oh, that's a great shot from Montgomery cross court. 40 love. Montgomery's really picked up her game. Could Montgomery cause a scare here for Sabalenka? Much better stuff here. Montgomery really able to get a good angle there and get Sabalenka way off court. Montgomery's really stuck her teeth in here. Competing very well here. First serve is not really there, but she's still managing it. A lot of great potential on display here, for real. Backhand, that goes wide. Dean Love. I don't know. I kind of feel like Montgomery might be one of the next big things up. It's not maybe as obvious as with some other players, but I need to watch more of her. But I've quite liked what I've seen from her. A lot of great potential. She's hitting very well. Serve from Montgomery here at 40-15. That's in the net. Second serve here. Again, a second serve. If you go from 40 love to 40-30, things start to get dicey, so she should want to just finish off the game here. Big forehand, and it is going to be that. Back to 40-30. Montgomery's showing some frustration. By the way, everybody just joining in. Appreciate you guys hopping in. It's a tight moment here. It's tight for Sabalenka, a little bit tighter than it was. The first set was 6-1. It really was... I mean, at times it wasn't that close, but at times it was much closer than it seemed by the scoreline. The first two games were 19 minutes in length. Montgomery showed some good signs. She also fought well towards the end of the first set. I was saying it felt quite obvious that it was going to be a closer second set, and Montgomery's really delivered. And she's been doing better in a lot of different ways. She's been hitting more to the Sabalenka forehand, which sounds bad, but it's actually been quite good for her, because the forehand cross-court's been doing nothing for her. Another backhand now. Down the line, the backhand Sabalenka. That goes out. I mean, Montgomery is really celebrating here. But she's still got to win the set. She's at 6-5. Very famous city. Oxford, gotcha. London. Bit of a famous city. A little bit famous. I visited Oxford last year. I should have known that. There you go, Joe. That's how I knew I always end up going there. I knew the Thames was long, but Oxford is quite far away from London. That is pretty crazy. I like learning about different things like that much more than I did when I was in school. Like just looking up YouTube books about it, that's way more. I find that way more fun now than when I was forced to do it in school, for example. When you're just more so focused on the grades than really learning about anything. That's why I think it's good that everybody has access to YouTube now where you can learn so many things. Because actually learning is actually fun, you find out, at least for me. But you don't do it as much when you're in school. All right, let's see what happens at the end of the set. Before it happens, let's see what the stats are. Let's look at the stats. Some smart Alex at a tiebreaker. Yeah, you're right on the money, Joe. You're right on the money. Let me see. Hour and a half already, by the way, played. So despite the 6-1 set, we've been here for a while. And it does feel like that. This match has been competitive. Pretty competitive. But it still feels like Sabalenka's in control. Not going to lie. Let's look at the match stats. Let's look at the second set. So, Montgomery first serve has not been there for her, but she's doing pretty well on the serve. She saved both for break points. Sabalenka, though, has not faced a single break point. She's still doing incredibly well on the serve all across the board. Montgomery just not being able to do that much on the return. So we'll see if Montgomery can change that. If it goes to a tiebreaker, that might be an opportunity for Montgomery to be able to do that. Because she doesn't have to do it for, 4 points in a row or whatever. She just has to play one good return point. But that's what's so tough about playing a player like Sabalenka, who, especially where her backhand is so helped out by these courts, where she can just really hit over it really well on these courts and get good pace on it. It's like there's nowhere to go because it's like her serve is so good and she's automatically on the, even if you can return her serve back, she's automatically on the offensive already and dictating off both shots. That's a better return, though, from Montgomery. Backhand, that goes long. No, it goes in. Forehand, Montgomery. Backhand, Sabalenka. Oh, it's a great backhand cross-court angle. Backhand down the line, it's in the net. It's a good point for Montgomery. It started off with the return, which really set up the tempo of the point to be a little bit in her favor. (30-15) here. Sabalenka not quite in position for that shot. Not well enough. Not moving her feet well enough to get up to that one. And just a bit flat there. Too far away from the ball hitting it. And we're at 30-15. Serve here, Sabalenka. The backhand of Montgomery. Forehand Montgomery. The backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery again. Backhand of Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery. That goes wide. So we're at 40-15 as Montgomery shakes her head. We're about to get to a tiebreaker. This is the real moment of truth for Montgomery here. Sabalenka misses the forehand, so not quite yet. 40-30. Nature is the coolest. Oh, absolutely. I've said it before. I mean, there's lots of things. I say it all the time. There's lots of things that happen in nature that you just don't really see. Like a lot of them are stranger than fiction. A lot of nature is stranger than fiction. So yeah, learning all kinds of stuff about different animals and like outer space and stuff, that's so fun to learn about. Particularly things in space. That's always interested me a lot. Learning about outer space and different planets, and like the show Cosmos is obviously fantastic for that, but just That's a double fault for Sabalenka. Guess what? Robin Montgomery is 2 points away from taking the set. It feels earned a little bit if Sabalenka can't close this game out. But there's still ways to go because we're at deuce. It's been close. It's been competitive. The second set. Serve from Sabalenka. Down the tee, forehand to Montgomery. Forehand to Sabalenka, big. Cross court, back in Montgomery. That's in the net. Advantage for Sabalenka, who still holds on here. Belarusian still holds on. I work in Richmond Park once a week. It's so nice to work in such a beautiful place. That's awesome, Joe. We have over 300 deers in Richmond Park, such majestic animals. Yeah, that must be incredible. We have so many deer in Georgia as well, just always running all over the place. It's always amazing just to learn about different animals, and that must be awesome. I love going to parks whenever I can and just going on the trails. It's a great shot down the line from Montgomery. Back to deuce. When I just went on a trip to Kentucky. I don't remember if I mentioned on stream, but I went on a trip to Kentucky to watch the total solar eclipse. And while I was there, I was on a trip with a couple of friends. One of my friends from high school, my friend Jake from high school, who I've known for almost a decade now, and also my brother. And we went on, while we were there in Kentucky, we went to a couple parks, and we went to this one called Land Between the Lakes. Smashed Sabalenka real big, right back to where Montgomery was standing. Huge smash, but Montgomery can't return it, so advantage to Sabalenka. But yeah, that park was incredible. We went like 5 miles on a trail, 5 or more miles on a trail, and just there's such unique kind of nature there, just such unique kind of plants and different stuff and animals. It was very, very cool. So yeah, nature is underrated. It's hella underrated. It's super cool. That goes out for Montgomery. Tiebreaker. Let me know who's winning this tiebreaker. What's going to be the score? If you're watching, let me know in the chat. I'm gonna say I'll say 7-4 Sabalenka. I'll say 7-4 Sabalenka. She's the more experienced. She loves these courts. It's been a great match for Montgomery, but I'm gonna say Sabalenka. By the way, if I'm reading it right, I can't quite see it. It's cut off by the TV screen, which is annoying. But 59. Sabalenka has a winning record in career tiebreakers. It's like 59 and 40 something. Joe, very lucky. Yeah, for sure. Hey, what's up, Minor? Passover 2.0. Happy Passover. Sabalenka 22-20. Minor, not again. Serve here from Montgomery. I'm hoping Montgomery. Yeah, it'd be awesome to see Joe. I've really liked her play in this match. We hope for a competitive one. Saba 7-3 realistic. Okay. I'm going Saba 7-4. I feel like Montgomery's played a really good match to this point. 7-5 Montgomery. Okay, I love it. I love it, KC. Big call. I love it. She's already been 2 points away twice. And that fun fact for you. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. Serve here, Sabalenka. About to serve. Down the tee is a great serve. Back in. Montgomery. Can't get it. It's long. 1-1. I can hear the birds in the background. Yeah, I'm right by my backyard where I'm sitting with the tree. My backyard tree where all the birds usually hang, so that's not surprising to me. I have very loud birds right near my house. Forehand. Oh, Sabalenka is completely shanked. That's a mini break for Montgomery. That's exactly what I was talking about. 1 return point, and that's all it takes here. Go ahead, Minor. Yeah, Minor, we've been doing trivia questions, so definitely hit us with it. 2-1 here. Montgomery with the serve. Sabalenka trying to win her second match of the tournament. Beat Magdalena in the first round. Montgomery trying to beat her second seed in a row after previously having never have won. Previously, she's never won 2 consecutive tour level matches back to back. She just beat Katie Bolter after losing a breadstick in the first set. Right now she's down 6-1 to Sabalenka, but she's looking to take the second set. So backhand goes long, so 3-1 for Robin Montgomery. Sabalenka and Madrid either won the tournament or lost their first round match. Wow, that's a crazy stat. How many appearances, Maynor? It's a good question as well. That is a great stat. 5, wow. That's unbelievable. So Montgomery's trying to do something that has not happened to Sabalenka since 2018. Thanks for that stat, Maynor. Great stat. So yeah, we're in the round of 32 now. So something could happen that has not happened before, which is Sabalenka not doing one of those two things. Either losing in the first round or winning the whole thing. Back and cross court. Oh, what a shot from Sabalenka. So she gets the mini break back for Aryna. It's a crazy stat because even if it was just 2 or 3 appearances, that'd be crazy. Having the fact that she would have won the whole tournament, also lost in the first round, and no in between. But the fact that she's played 5 times is really crazy. That's a great stat. All right, 2-3 here. Big moments. Sabalenka with the serve. Out wide, very high percentage. Forehand down the line. The backhand Montgomery, very defensive. Forehand swing volley down the middle. Forehand Montgomery. Backhand volley. Sabalenka. Backhand Montgomery for a pass. Forehand to the open court. Sabalenka did not play a very solid point at all. That was not solid from Sabalenka. I don't know why she came in right down the middle. It gave Montgomery a great chance to open up the court. Very nervy from Sabalenka. Also had a very high percentage serve. It was a good high ball from Montgomery. She made Sabalenka a little bit uncomfortable. She didn't know what to do. She came to net. It's a very split-second decision. So it's all Montgomery. It's all Montgomery, you know? Made Sabalenka nervous, and that's to her credit. So 4-2. 4-2. Just like Daniel Collins earlier in the day. A lot of reactionary stuff going on here. Let's bring on a third set. Bring on a third set. This will be fun. Forehand Montgomery. Back in Sabalenka. Hits over. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. 3-4. Wow, interesting. Yeah, because listen, she's won the tournament twice. She's going for the 3rd time to win this tournament, is Sabalenka. Yeah, she's lost in the first round 3 times. I'm looking at it now. She lost in the first round 2022. Who'd she lose to in the first round between her 2 wins? That's a good question, I think. Third seed Sabalenka. Let me see. Wow. So Amanda Anisimova. Shout out Anisimova. Hell yeah. Hopefully Anisimova can fight it again. When she's at her best, she's incredible. I forgot about that. Madrid 2022, Anisimova beat her at 6-4. Now I roughly remember it, but between her 2 victories in 2021 and 2023, Anisimova beat her in the first round. Anisimova is one of the most dangerous players on tour because her peak is so high. Saba wants to slam, so I think that's a factor. Yeah, that's fair. She's definitely the best slam player in the world at the moment. When's the last time she's lost before the semifinals of a slam? I think it was 2022 Roland Garros, which is crazy. Wasn't able to play Wimbledon. Lost to Swiatek at U.S. Open that year in the semis. And at Roland Garros, she lost to Camila Giorgi. 6-0, 6-1 the second and third sets. That was in like the 3rd round. Good serve from Montgomery into the backhand, so 5-3. Montgomery playing a much smarter point. Come on, Saba, 5 more points. It's looking tough now. She didn't win Oz until AO, but did get to the finals. It's not true. She won Adelaide last year before AO. You're good. Shoot, RIP prediction. Yeah, mine as well. That goes long. Wow, Montgomery now at 6-3. Montgomery looking to type this up to 3. To take this to 3 sets. I want to type in Anisimova. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, what a great player if when she's at her best. Not gonna lie, winning 3 titles out of 5. It's crazy if it'll happen. Yeah, well, also just winning whatever 3 times out of 4 years, I think it would be. So, all right, 3 set points for the American. What a set she's put together here. That back in return goes long. automatically very frustrated with herself. This is a very interesting moment. Sabalenka can come back in matches. We've seen it before. We saw it versus Peyton. So she can come back in sets. She can come back in matches. Madison Keys, the American at the U.S. Open. Peyton Stearns at Indian Wells. She's a fighter. Serve down T is very good. It was very close, but there's no challenge. 6-5. Montgomery's only gotten about half of her first serves in. This is a chance here at 6-5. One more set point. The more experienced Sabalenka comes down to 1 or 2 points sometimes in tennis. It's a big moment in her young career here, Montgomery, to at least take the second set. I'm impressed either way. I'm not going to lie. I'm impressed either way, but to take the second set, here you go. Serve here from Montgomery. It's first serve in the net. That first serve is just not it, honestly. It's like kind of slicing it off and going right into the middle of the net. She needs to improve on that serve. Second serve, though. Back in Sabalenka. Big. Forehand to Montgomery. Back in Sabalenka. That goes long. We're going 3 sets. Montgomery with a huge roar. Tiafoe likes that as well in the crowd. We're going 3 sets in Madrid. Montgomery with a great performance here. Wow. This has been a long match as well. Even though with the 6-1 set. Montgomery lost 6-1 to Danielle Collins. Sorry, not to Danielle Collins. To Katie Bolter, I should say. She lost 6-1 to Katie Bolter in the last round, and then she won that match. So she's trying to do the same thing. No, 22-20. No, 22-20. Called it. Yeah, you did call, didn't you? 7-5 for nice. Shout out to KC who said 7-5 for Montgomery. That is crazy. KC, shout out to you for real. That is a great prediction. Wow. That's a great prediction. All right, I'm excited for this third set. I'm going to stop. I'm going to hop off for a second, and I'll be back for this third set. Don't go anywhere. I can see you. Don't go anywhere. Okay, see, no, you got the right prediction. You called it with the 7-5. It's a great one, honestly. Bolter can't wait for grass season. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Still a good win though, because high level informed player. It's always tough to beat almost any surface. She's in form. Gonna play nonogram. Okay, fair enough. In case he fire with the predictions, we need to buy some lottery tickets. Absolutely. But 7-5 Montgomery is great because nobody else said Montgomery. So it's not like 7-5 Sabalenka. So it's a good prediction. Serve here from Sabalenka. The back end of Montgomery. Back end Sabalenka. Forehand of Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka. To the back end. That goes out from Montgomery. Goes in the net. So 1-0 for Sabalenka. Very entertaining match so far. Even the first set I thought was pretty entertaining. Like I was entertained by the first set as well. But in the second set, just a lot better from Montgomery, just switching it up a lot more in just about every single way. And being able to hit more winners as well and hit more kind of finishing shots. That forehand down the line coming into play a few times. The backhand down the line creating some better or back and cross court creating some better angles. I like the reactions as well from Montgomery. She is really getting fired up. And here they're showing right now a great stat. First serve placement on the serve. And in the second set, she's hitting much better, like much more outside of the middle box, especially on the ad side. She was hitting 86% of her shots more to the corners of the service box. So good stuff from Montgomery. She's definitely upped her level in that second set. Let me know your predictions as well. Yeah, Sabalenka 6-3 final set. No, I'm gonna say it's even closer for me personally. But you could be right. You could be right. I mean, Sabalenka's got more experience, but it's been a pretty crazy match. I'm gonna say 7-5 Sabalenka. Maybe 6-4. Gut feeling 6-4. So I'll go with the gut feeling. I'll say 6-4. But 6-4 or 7-5, I think. Bolter won at Surbiton last year, I think. I think it was her first title. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I think I remember because it was like 4 British players in the semis or something. I can't remember who she beat though. But yeah, I believe that was her first title as well, and she became the British #1 after winning that one. Yeah, Katie Bolter got that one. Trying to remember who she beat though. Yeah, Jody Barrage in the final. So it was all Brits. She won some town. Some Townham is hilarious. Some town. Birmingham or Nottingham? Southampton? I think Nottingham sounds right. I think it was Nottingham. That sounds right to me too, B Barrage. Yes. Yep. Yeah, it was in Nottingham. Yep. Rothsay Open, Nottingham. Yep. All right, 2 break points here for Sabalenka to start off early. Backhand, the forehand of Montgomery. Backhand Sabalenka. Forehand of Montgomery. Cross court. Backhand Sabalenka. Again, great cross court. Oh! Wow. That is a statement forehand from Montgomery on a tight moment. Wow. This is a lot of fun to watch. That forehand down the line, why was she not hitting it for a good part of the beginning of the match? She was going with that forehand all to the back end of Sabalenka. Nope. Go down the line. 30-40. One more to save, though. 30-40. Second serve here from Montgomery. Oh, it's a double fault. 2-0 for Sabalenka, starting off strong, as sometimes it does happen. Even with a player, who's an underdog, fighting well, giving their all. It's sometimes the third set that starts off with a more experienced player, just more locked in right from the get-go. Sometimes that's one of the hardest things that people always underrate, and I've said this before. Having that mental kind of thing of running with the lead when you get it. Not stepping your foot off the gas, which can be so easy to do. And I mean, the thing that we can talk mental all we want, but obviously it's so easy to just say, okay, well, I'm going to be mentally strong. I'm going to think this, I'm going to do this. But it's the actual implementation of it, right? During a very intense tennis match, that really is what makes it so difficult. Actually implementing those kind of mental things. And Sabalenka is much more experienced. She's better at implementing those things mentally. Forehand, back to the backhand volley of Sabalenka, but hits in the net. This is a big moment here. Love 30. Big difference between 3-0 and 2-1. Penko won Birmingham. Yeah, Ostapenko started off the year super strong. She's going to have a great match versus Ons tomorrow. Why are you bumming up Bolter? She's a nothing player. These Brits come and go and usually never heard of again. Well, I mean, she's had a great year this year. If you win a title, then that's worth mentioning in itself. Raducanu won the U.S. Open. Pretty good victory there. It's easy to spread negativity, but I like to spread positivity to a lot of the players doing well, or else there'd be no point to talk about much of anything unless the very, very dominant players. And Keys won Eastbourne, yeah. Norrie not bad. Yeah, Norrie did well last year. I was impressed by him in Rio when he beat Alcaraz. After also getting to the final the week before that, KC. But Norrie is actually very kind of surface versatile. He can be very consistent, but he's just not been in very good form recently. But obviously he's one of the weirder players. He's got really weird form on his shots. His backhand is quite ugly, to be honest. But when he's good, he's one of the more top consistent players. So he's not in form at the moment, but when he's in form, he doesn't have one of the highest peaks on the tour, but he's very consistent. That's a double fault from Sabalenka. Very poor. Got back to 30-all, but now it's another break point coming. Draper, maybe we'll see. I think Draper is going to be quite good. I see a lot of potential for Jack. I think he's a great personality. He seems like has a very level head, and when he gets the physical aspect better, and when he gets more experience and is able to improve on the mental game and use all the skills he has, I think he's got a lot of things to work with. He's very skillful. Got a big serve. Forehand up high. The forehand of Sabalenka. Back in Montgomery. Trying to get this break point. Forehand down the line. That goes out. Back-to-back breaks. Montgomery out here like a tiger, which Sabalenka says sometimes, but that's what Sabalenka calls herself sometimes. Montgomery came in as the prey, but she's looking to be the predator. Some big reaction. She's coming to try to get the upset here in this third set. We'll see. It's 1-2. Sabalenka's still the favorite, but Montgomery making a great match of this. Definitely glad that I commentated this because it's turned out to be a really interesting match. Before we go on, I think it's really interesting to me to see what the stats are in the match stats overall. 5 aces for Montgomery, 7 for Sabalenka. Sabalenka would probably like for Montgomery not to be that close in the ace count to Saba. The serve stats for Sabalenka are pretty much impenetrable. Not the same for Montgomery. Still wants to do better with the first serve percentage and the second serve. And it doesn't have winners to errors, but I feel like that would be a tale of two stories with Sabalenka in the second set, hitting less winners and more errors, and that would be the story for Montgomery in the first set, where she hit more errors and less winners. But yeah, we're pretty even at this point. Sabalenka's still the favorite, though. Survive in the match better. Been placing her serve way better in these last, 30, 40 minutes of these 2 hours of play that we've had so far. 2 hours and 1 minute on the mark, on the clock. Backhand Montgomery to the forehand of Sabalenka. Backhand Montgomery. That goes out, so 15 all here. Good serve from Montgomery. So getting more free points off that serve, Montgomery is. So 30-15. Big match for Sabalenka as well, obviously. Obviously a big match for Sabalenka and her year in general. Because her losing round of 32 in Madrid be a big difference from her, who knows how she'll do for the rest of the event. Also, Collins, her waiting with that win streak. Big result to watch here. What will end up happening in this match? 30 all. Huge game here. Sabalenka will want to really, really get this game to really set her mark in this third set. Montgomery is not going to want to allow her to do that. Because, listen, 2 breaks in a row is one thing, but trying to come back after 3 breaks in a row, being down a break, that's very tough. I love this look in Montgomery's eye this whole match. Montgomery's got this look in her eye like, man, I'm coming for the win here. I'm going for the win. I'm not here just to play. You got to like that part of it, whether she gets it or not. She's had this really motivated look in her eye. Very intense, motivated look in her eye throughout this whole match. That backhand goes out, though. So deuce. I remember when Andy Murray won Madrid in 2006, whatever happened to him. Yeah, whatever happened to that British fellow? Whatever happened to Andy? Didn't Andy win? Did Andy ever win Madrid when it was on clay? I think his only chances would have been like 2015, 2016 when Rafa was not at his best. I know that Murray, there were like 2 Masters that he never won. Djokovic, the only player to won all 9. He's won all 9 at least twice. One Monte Carlo away from having won all of them 3 times, which is probably the craziest tennis statistic ever. At least it's up there. Djokovic at Masters is unbelievable. All right, advantage here for Montgomery, who's fought very well. Again, at a game point. Serve from Montgomery. Back into Sabalenka. Back in Montgomery. No, that goes out from Sabalenka. Called out. 2-2. Montgomery ties it up early. She needed that. She didn't want to go down 3-1. Big moment in this match. It's got to help to have Tiafoe supporting, though. Tiafoe has been a top 10 player. Having Tiafoe sitting right behind her, and Tiafoe is very animated. He's always very, yeah, he asserts his presence. Like having him cheering her on must be a great thing for her, to be honest. It's the tape goes over. Oh, I saw Sabalenka go for that. She goes so low percentage down the line, misses that sideline. Montgomery is in the lead. Robin Montgomery is leading Sabalenka now. Love 15. 2-2, love 15. Tiafoe loves every minute. You see Tiafoe in the back. Tiafoe with a smile in the back. I'm sure they're good friends. Two hours and 6 minutes of play. Got to remind you a little bit of the Peyton Stearns match a little bit at Indian Wells. That was a tight contest, to say the least. Backhand drop shot. Backhand Sabalenka. Oh! Montgomery's there with the volley, but she missed it. So 15 all. 15 all. By the way, Shapo and Zverev, Shapovalov and Alexander Zverev are going to be up next on this court. That should be an interesting one. Really hope Shapo can put something together for himself. He's been playing better recently. I mean, beat Tsitsipas in Miami, and he's been doing better. So that's been good to see him. He likes clay. He's pretty good on all of the surfaces. I mean, Shapo recently, he was very up and down. Lost to Gaston and what was that, Metz? Lost to Murray in Dubai. Lost to Musetti in Indian Wells, although he already started playing a little bit better then. Backhand, that goes out from Montgomery, so 40-15 for Sabalenka. But yeah, then in Miami, beat Darderi, beat Tsitsipas, lost to Arnaldi. Then in Houston, he lost to Giron. Now he's in Madrid, but he's been doing better in Madrid. Beat Echeverry, beat Diaz Acosta, a little bit better from Shapo. So today will be a big test against Zverev to see where he's at, really. And Zverev's done well in Madrid before. Oh, Sabalenka leaves it off the return. Montgomery with the apology. Sabalenka jokingly says challenge. I like both these players. I like both these women. This is hilarious. 40-30, 2-2. Sabalenka says challenge. Great. 40-30. Montgomery putting up a fight. Love it. Absolutely. I fully agree. What's up, Faison? Yeah, Montgomery's been doing really well. Even in the first set, there were some good signs, but the second set, I mean, she played so solid. She really improved a lot among a lot of things that she was doing not so well in the first set. Whether it was the serve placement or whether it was where she was directing her forehand, hitting it off into the backhand, which should be a good play, but Sabalenka was really surviving on the forehand and backhand. Sabalenka's backhand so good on the surface in this tournament. I felt like that was one of the big key factors in the Madrid final last year against Swiatek. A lot of the backhand rallies. And we're in a moment where Montgomery's really upped her intensity. She's been giving a lot of, come-ons and reacting really strongly, some huge reactions. So I love to see that intensity. And we saw that with Collins earlier. But yeah, it's a great match now. 2006, I learned to write my name. Nice, Fainor. Yeah, I mean, same. I was 5. I turned 6 in 2006. So my age is super easy because I was born in 2000. I'm a 2000 baby. And by the way, that's always so crazy to me. The fact that of every year I could have possibly been born, I was born in the year 2000. That always blows my mind a little bit. But I can always remember my age, which has been a great thing for me. I don't have to think about it, which is not a normal thing, but it is a thing that I've had. Just a small thing I've had because I just think of the year and then I'll know what age I was. Although I wasn't born in January of 2000, in which case almost always I would be just the age that my year was. Like if I was born on January 1st, 2000, it would literally always be the case. But I was born in October, so I still have to figure it out a little bit. But anyway. But yeah, in 2006, I was 6. I turned 6. There we got Faison in the chat. Zverev and Shapovalov coming on right after this. Been a very competitive match. I was just comparing it to Stern Sabalenka in Indian Wells. Sabalenka trying to defend her title. Maynor in the chat had a great stat earlier for anybody who wasn't in here that Sabalenka, every time that she's played Madrid, has either won the tournament or lost in the first round. So this is not the first round. It's round of 32, but she'd still lose early. Been a weird tournament for her. Backhand to the forehand. Second, Montgomery down the line. That goes wide, though. So were you born in 10? I was born in October. People born in 2000, people born in 0. Fair enough. Your parents had a good New Year's then, Anthony. Yeah. I don't like comments like that. I don't like thinking about that. I'm November baby, so I guess my parents had great Valentine's Day. Yep. I suppose so. October is the most I think that's why though. I think that's why October is the most common common birth month. It's the most common month to have your birthday in, October. All right, 15-30 here, Sabalenka. Let's see if she can pull away here from Montgomery. Her first serve from Montgomery is still not good enough. It's a very weird kind of slice serve into the net. A lot of these. Sometimes they're pretty decent, but the rhythm on the serve is not there. Forehand to the back into Sabalenka. That goes out. 30-all for Montgomery. No, you're good, Joe. I'm just joking around. 30-all. 2-3, 30-all. We'll see if Montgomery can get the 30-all. Every time I say Montgomery, I just think Alabama. 30-all. Serve. Backhand. The backhand slice of Sabalenka. Backhand of Montgomery into the forehand of Sabalenka. Now backhand Sabalenka. That goes long down the middle. A few too many errors creeping into the Aryna's game. 40-30. Sabalenka hasn't been in her best. Even in the first round, she went 3 sets against Magdalena. She lost to Vondrousova in Stuttgart, who's a great player, but I don't think Sabalenka will want to lose to Vondrousova. Played a bit of a weird match against Carolina in Miami. So obviously also some personal stuff going on there, but just in terms of the results, they've not been there. So it's the one thing we can kind of comment on. August is the most popular month to be born at. Most popular days are in September. Is that right, Maynor? Because I heard a lot. I heard all the time when I was growing up that October is the most popular, and October 5th is the most popular day to be born in. Am I wrong in that? I haven't looked it up in a while, so it might have also changed. Yeah, according to the National Center for Health and Statistics, October 5th is North America's most common birthday. Interesting. Forehand Montgomery, that goes long. September 9th, most popular date. I guess that's worldwide. Every time I hear the name Montgomery, I think the best golfer never to have won a major called Montgomery. That's interesting, too. I'm just thinking of the city in Alabama because I've been there. So I'm just thinking of that every time. All right, love 15 here for 15 love here for Sabalenka. Big moment. Serve down the tee. Back in Montgomery. It's on the baseline. Forehand Sabalenka at the back end of Montgomery. Lefty back in again. To cross court to the forehand. Sabalenka goes long, though. So 30 love for Sabalenka. Sabalenka's rhythm on her serve is much better, I feel like, than Montgomery's. So we'll see if that pays dividends. as well as the experience. But Montgomery, listen, I was saying it earlier. She's played a lot of these kind of matches. Not quite this, but she's played 164 different ITF or Challenger matches coming into this tournament. She's or just in general. She's 164 in ITF and Challengers, which is already a lot. And she played juniors. She played Coco Gauff a couple years ago in a tour level event. She's rather new to the stage, but one good thing about going that route is, despite her being 19 years old, she's gone the hard way. She's gone the hard route of going through the pros and playing against the best. And she's already been in these kind of matches a little bit where she has to play super high intensity. In Israel, 16.9. I don't know what you mean, Maynor, but or do you mean that is? I don't know the calendar very well, or do you mean just June? I'm not sure, to be honest. What do you mean, Maynor, by 16.9? That's in the net. In the US, we don't do it like that. We do like 06/09. So my stupid American brain is not comprehending. 4-3, by the way, as 4-3, by the way, as Sabalenka gets the hold. We're getting to the crucial stages of this match, chat. See what happens. See if Montgomery can stay close. I just feel like the serve a little bit worries me. If she can keep holding strong, especially as we get to these pressure moments. Because it feels like under pressure, her serve might buckle a little bit. She's not hit a whole lot of double faults, but that first serve is just not there. And she's going under 50% when she's gotten the second serve in, at least in terms of the match. So despite her improvements on the serve and the serve placement, I'm not as sure. I mean, that's not so bad. 51% second serve points won, but it's just not ideal with making just over half of her first serves in. Let's see what happens. Most popular date to be born out worldwide is 9.9, September 9th. Yeah, but what was 16.9? You said in Israel it is 16.9. So I was just wondering, is that like a different way of saying 9.9 or C-sections on 9.9? That's funny. Backhand Sabalenka, the forehand of Montgomery. That goes out. Love 15. Love 15. Sabalenka looking to break here. September, I guess. Oh, yeah. No, it's the most popular day in Israel, September 16th for you. Okay, got you, Maynor. Yeah, that's what was confusing me up. Okay. Because I don't usually think of it with the date and then the month. But I guess everywhere other than America, they do that. So I should have figured. Serve Montgomery, the backhand of Sabalenka. That goes wide. So 15 all here for Montgomery. Too many errors from Sabalenka. This is not what we were seeing in the first set. But this is a little bit closer to what we've been seeing from Sabalenka recently. And I feel like at some of these moments, Sabalenka's just not really getting confidently in position like she always has. And I felt like that a few times in some of her recent matches where just feels like she's a little bit slow or not in the right position, not hitting it over her shoulders, just hitting it where the ball is a little bit too low, not cracking winners confidently like usual, waiting for the ball to get too low and not in her sweet spot. Those are a few things I feel like I've seen a little bit with Sabalenka. That's a great shot from Montgomery. Opened up the court very well at the forehand inside out. Then at the backhand, back down the line. And Sabalenka couldn't get to it. Montgomery is playing phenomenal. Whatever happens in this match, wake up to Robin Montgomery. She is a great player. I mean, she's got ways to improve, especially with the serve. But that's a great ace, though, as I say that. Great ace down the tee, 40-15. She can win this match. She can win this match. That's very impressive. That I'm even thinking, that could happen. What a moment here. The serve has gotten way better. The serve placement, way more aces from Montgomery as well. Serve here. Down the tee, back in Sabalenka. Back in Montgomery, back in Sabalenka. Oh, just a little bit too slow to it. She's not confident to hit those winners. Hit over it. I'd guess the rarest date is 229. Yeah, it happens once every 4 years. So, probably. You'd only have a birthday every 4 years. That's sad. Only a birthday party every 4 years. That's stuff I was just talking to my friend about that yesterday or the day before that. Because we saw that some city was erected in February 28th. I said if that was the day after that, the anniversary would be only once every 4 years. Forehand Sabalenka is a big moment here, but that's a back and wide from Montgomery. 15 love for Sabalenka. Can Montgomery make strides on the Sabalenka serve? She's already broken the Sabalenka serve once, trying to take out the world number 2, the defending champion, Sabalenka. 22 minutes played so far. Serve from Sabalenka. Wide forehand of Montgomery. Forehand Sabalenka. That's good cross court, so 30 love. 2 more games for Saba. Yep, let's see. Let's see what Sabalenka can do. Fend off Montgomery. What's most popular on the Hebrew calendar? I have no idea. I googled it. Hit us with it, Maynor. Serve here, Sabalenka. Out wide, back into Montgomery. That goes out, so 40 love for Sabalenka. Sabalenka looking to be a game away here. By the way, guys, like always, please don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the QualityShot Tennis YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody joining in. And please don't forget to like the stream as well. If you enjoy it, it does help out the channel. 40 love here for Sabalenka. With the serve long, so second serve. My favorite match of the year last year was Sabalenka versus Swiatek in Madrid. This has been a very good one as well. That's a serve long. So 40-15. Rarest birthdays, in fact, 29, February 29. I guess the second rarest. Yeah, sure. Dude, at the changeover. First serve is a let. So second serve here. Backhand way up high, forehand. Sabalenka, that's a great shot, forehand, inside out. It's a great shot there from Sabalenka. No, but let me think. Rarest birthdays. Let me think. I'll guess. Let me think. I'm trying to do math real quick here. I'll say like January. I'll say January 18th. Maynor, my guess is January 18th. Christmas, okay. I'll say January 18th. No idea, though. No idea. Let me know. Really hope Shapovalov can get back into good form. Shapovalov reminds me a bit of Nick Kyrgios, and I'll tell you why. Nick Kyrgios is like a top 10 most talented player, like at least of the last 10 or 15 years. Or he is a crazy talent, but this is a guy who's never been able to pull his results together like he wanted to until like 2022, where he had a really good season. I hope the same thing for Shapo, because Shapovalov is one of the most talented players I maybe have ever seen, or at least of recent memory. So I would love it if Shapo can pull some good results together. Those two guys remind me of each other because they've had somewhat similar, like, highest peak results in their careers, but their talent levels are way above what they've achieved. They've also both beaten the big three before. No, Joe was very close. Okay. December 20th. I don't know. What is it, Maynor? I'm out of guesses. Honestly, I don't know. Serve here from Montgomery. At 4-5, big moment. Serve the forehand to Sabalenka, back in Montgomery. The backhand Sabalenka down the line. It's a great strike. And it's at these big moments that the Belarusian is able to find a way. We're at love 15. It's at these moments that the Belarusian is able to burst through with her best tennis. Break through. Forehand to the backhand of Montgomery. That goes long. That's a nervy error from Robin Montgomery. The answer is Christmas Eve. Wow. That's very interesting, honestly. Nice, Joe. You got close there. So, love 30 here, Sabalenka. Serve here from Montgomery. Back in Sabalenka, back in Montgomery down the line. Back in Sabalenka cross court. Wow, Sabalenka's really raised her level here. Back in Montgomery, the 360. Smash Sabalenka. Montgomery's still at the racket on it, but it's in the ground. And it feels like Montgomery has given her all into this match, really maximized her game and thrown her all into it. But it feels like she's run the end of her rope, and Sabalenka is playing at 100 right now. She was playing at 95, 90, 95. In this game, it feels like she's put that up to 100. And now she's at love 40 with 3 match points coming her way. The defending champion looking to face Danielle Collins on a hot 15-match win streak in the next round. See if she can do it. Serve. It's in the net. Second serve from Montgomery. Serve Montgomery. Gets it back in. Back into Montgomery down the middle. Forehand Sabalenka. Forehand Montgomery. That's in the net. A great performance by Robin Montgomery, the 19-year-old American. But it is Aryna Sabalenka who gets the win at the end of the day. A great handshake between the two players. A great match. Aryna Sabalenka stands tall in Madrid. And she will play Danielle Collins in the next round in the final 16. A great fight from Aryna, despite a very tough game from Montgomery on the other side of the court. First time that these two played. A great tournament from Montgomery, also beating Bolter. So big eyes on Robin Montgomery. Big eyes on Robin Montgomery. But Sabalenka's through. She'll take on the Americans' Collins. All right, I appreciate everybody joining in. Please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you guys are new. Please don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 20K. We're trying to get to 20K subscribers. Please don't forget to like as well if you enjoyed it. But hell yeah, what a match. What a match. The round 16 is set. Swiatek, Sorribes, Tormo, Haddad, Maya, Sakari. I'm glad that those two aren't switched and we don't have a Haddad, Maya, Sorribes, Tormo because that would take the whole rest of the tournament to finish that match. Goff Keys is good. Ostapenko Jabor. Those are two blockbuster matches. Although I would probably favor Goff on clay versus Keys. Putin Seva, Kazakina. Bejlek versus Rybakina. Mira Andreeva versus Paolini. That's a really good one. Watch out for Mira Andreeva, Collins, Sabalenka. Some really good matches. Wow, I was so close. You were close, Joe. I was surprised too. I was like, did you know something? But that's crazy. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, great effort. Great effort for real. Good night. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. Like always, guys, I really do appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys for more streams. And GG Sabalenka. She gets through. Definitely join in for more streams coming your way from Quality Shot Tennis for Madrid. And what a great match, honestly. Fantastic match from Sabalenka. She really just fought, put her head down and fought despite the great kind of changes in Montgomery's game. And she didn't even do anything that particularly wrong, but Montgomery was fighting so well and was playing very high level. And Sabalenka really had to fight hard, and she did. She gets through, and she will take on Danielle Collins. See you guys at the next one.